Namaste and hello. Welcome to The Light Within. I thank you for investing your time on this podcast. I am absolutely committed to provide value to your time. So without further ado, let's get started. In this episode, we will discuss about happiness, authenticity, and creating spaces to access silence and receiving the inspiration that comes with it. So when I was thinking about this episode, I wanted to spend some time in understanding what most of us are struggling with. What are we truly seeking? What is it that we don't talk openly about, but we keep thinking about? Perhaps we are not able to articulate it ourselves. While I thought about this, I contemplated for a while and then created a list of questions. Then I thought, why not cross-check this with ChatGPT? No surprises for guessing, it gave me a long, very well-written list of questions. While the questions I thought of were structured broad, ChatGPT gave me precise questions. And let me share what exactly I asked and the answers that I received. So the question that I asked was, tell me the burning questions most people are struggling with. And the answers that I received: what is the purpose of my life? How can I achieve true happiness? Is there a higher power or greater meaning to life? How can I overcome fear and embrace change and uncertainty? And what can I do to live a more meaningful life? Now this got me thinking, because if these are the questions in our minds and all of us have access to technology which has the answers to all these questions, why don't we just use technology and get all the answers and just, be happy? I guess it's not that simple. The answers have always been there. Let's step back and let's dive deep into the first question. So the first question was, what is the purpose of my life? Now think about this. If you get an answer to this question, what will happen then? Will you stop seeking? So if this is the burning question in your head, that what is the purpose of my life, and if you get the answer to this question, will you not have more questions? Think about what's missing in your life that's making you even ask this question. Are you saying that what you're doing is not enough? I guess answers to these questions directly lead you to, I will be happy or I will be at peace if I know this. So are we seeking happiness? Let's talk about happiness here. What's your understanding of happiness? Probably a state of mind where pain doesn't exist. A state of mind where you have everything you want. Well, it may or may not guarantee happiness, because a lot of times we are not even sure of what we want. But irrespective, I looked up the textbook definition of happiness, and what I got is, happiness is that feeling that comes over you when you know life is good and you can't help but smile. It's the opposite of sadness. Happiness is a sense of well-being, joy, or contentment. When people are successful or safe or lucky, they feel happiness. Now, if you observe closely, this definition is about having something, as in the state of happiness means something which is an outcome of something you do or you have. You have to be lucky. You have to be content. And the assumption is that life is good, which is too broad to understand. What's good for me may not be good for you. So even there, happiness is subjective. Lot of theory here, but just bear with me for some more time. I want you to think about this. Imagine you want to buy a car for yourself. You work hard towards achieving this goal. The day comes when all the circumstances are in your favor and you get that shiny piece of automobile home. You get congratulated by friends and family. Celebrations last for a few days or a week. You're very happy, and then what happens? Is this a permanent state of being that continues, or does it last only for a few days and then you move on to creating another goal like this and the cycle continues? Having a car now is a norm, so this may not even qualify for a celebration unless it's an imported one. So, all in all, it seems like happiness is a wild goose chase. You attach it to something, you achieve it, you feel it, and then it goes away. In my view, happiness is transitory. It comes and it goes, no matter how long you want to hold on to it. You return to yourself and the hunt begins again, where you create one more goal like this one, chase it, and at the end of it, you're happy. Don't get me wrong here, I am all for setting goals and going after them. All I am questioning here is the attachment of happiness with it. Because if you are attaching happiness with success, for sure you're going to attach dejection with failure. So, can we focus on the process instead? By all means, chase happiness or goals that lead you to happiness. But before you do that, keep these in mind. Point number 1, know what you really want. Sometimes you don't really want the thing you think you want. It's either peer pressure or you just get an impulse to get something to satisfy your ego. Point number 2, as much as you want the feeling at the end of the achievement, are you going to enjoy the process of getting there too? It's a very, very important question. Because if you don't, then moment of happiness will be way shorter than you expected. So, what are we truly seeking then? In my view, we are not seeking something temporary. And it seems like happiness is temporary. We are seeking a consistent, permanent state of being, which is peace, bliss, contentment, or whatever you want to call it. What you really are looking for is the truest, authentic expression of yourself, and with that, happiness comes for free. Goals become effortless, and everything else is a byproduct of it. You are seeking connection to this place where you hold yourself accountable for living your potential, and as you move on to that path to get there, there is no judgment from anywhere, including yourself. It is you versus you, not your batchmate, not your colleague, not your sibling, or anybody else in the world. You may ask me, what has this got to do with spirituality? Well, everything. Because only when you are in touch with your true self will you be able to dig deeper. You will honor your truth and set goals that truly mean something to you. Whether it is picking up a new job, starting your own classes, or simply spending time in your garden. We seek to know ourselves better. That's what we are truly seeking. To heal ourselves, to create a space of silence within us, a place of authenticity, and a place which is safe. Most importantly, a place which is permanent and always accessible to us. Now let's get down to the keys that can help you get there. Key number 1, protect your energy. We are all surrounded by people and everyone is fighting battles we know nothing about. But it also means that we are surrounded by energy which may or may not be at the same wavelength as us. When the situation escalates, you just go with wherever the predominant energy is. Imagine an argument at home or a heated discussion at a meeting room in office. Don't go with people where they are. Listen, but stay who you are. It will come with practice. It's not that simple. Believe it or not, we absorb people's energy and model people's behavior all the time. Even in normal situations, we are absorbing people's energy all the time. So the other day I was riding in an auto for work, and it was a rainy morning. I was looking out randomly, and my auto went past a lane that connected highway. It was a lane where mostly trucks were parked, and as my auto went past, I noticed a child taking shelter underneath a truck. The child must have been 4 to 6 years old with torn clothes, and there was no one around him. Strangely, my autowala also reduced the speed, and he observed exactly what I observed. He didn't say anything to me, and nor did I, but a million thoughts crossed my mind. As such, you see so many such children on traffic signals selling something to you, but mostly they are with someone. This one was completely alone, extremely vulnerable. This must have been just a 10 to 15 seconds observation. That day, my energy was just very low, at least for the first half of the day. I did what I was supposed to do at work, definitely, but inside I was low. It took me a while to get back, and when I reflected, I realized that maybe what I saw affected me very deeply. Like this, there are many moments when someone mentions something to you, or you see something, you go back to a memory, or you just imagine something, losing touch with the present. Some of us are very highly sensitive people, and we absorb others' energies like anything, even when people are not related to us in any way. If this was not enough, social media has not left an inch of sacred space for us. I'm bringing this topic again, and you might not like it, but I feel this needs to be reinforced as many times as possible. You look for one thing on internet and it is everywhere. Insta feed, Facebook, shopping apps, everywhere. Even the harmless reels that you keep watching on Insta are eating up so much of your time that you have no clue. These are energy drainers, which you have to put a stop before they drag you down with them. So there are certain scenarios or situations which are beyond your control, like the example that I gave you of that child. It is beyond anyone's control. It is the society, how it is structured, and the deep divide that we have created. But there are a lot of things which are in our control. So stay aware and hold yourself accountable. Find out ways to do it. Put a timer or keep a social media time, max 15 minutes, 20 minutes for entertainment, and that too if you can keep a distance between the content and yourself. And if you can't, then drop it then and there. Instead, engage in self-reflection. Set aside time for introspection and self-reflection. These are not very big words that I'm dropping here. These are basic things that you must do for yourself. Engaging in practices like self observation, writing down about how you feel, exploring your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, and let people think you're out of your mind. It's completely fine, because you will be able to gradually uncover the deeper layers of your being and connect with the silence within. A lot of times, reflection happens when you are doing something you really enjoy. It could be music, gymming, walking, writing, any kind of sports, or even solving puzzles, whatever gets you closer to yourself. Understand that protecting your energy is everything, and you won't know how to protect unless you know what is draining it. Only when you save up your precious energy will you be able to invest it in your growth. Now, the second key is grounding your energy. So, energy again. The topic of energy is huge. And for the purpose of this episode, I'm going to touch upon it briefly. In general, you have an idea about your energy, whether it is turbulent or calm or steady, or whether it keeps changing with the kind of people you are with. People who see you on a regular basis have an idea depending on what you show them. Have you heard people say about someone's aura? Aura is nothing but a person's energy, in simpler terms, the way they come across in their day-to-day interactions. There's no pretense even if the person in question is someone you dislike, in which case you will say that I'm not comfortable talking to this person. You will not have an evidence, but you just feel that way. Now, I'm not talking about a biased opinion here that you form when you meet someone for the first time or when someone triggers what you have within you. I'm talking about something that you experience over a period of time. Now reverse the equation. Same thing happens when people come across you. You can put a facade for some time, but eventually people will figure out your true nature. Now that is your core energy. That is something that you can't fake. Let me share 2 techniques to help you ground your energy. Technique number 1, deep breathing. Deep breathing is one of the best ways to quickly connect back to your true nature. Sit down in a quiet place, or if you can't find a quiet place or a place to sit, take a few moments away from people. Maybe in a balcony or go for a walk downstairs. Do it anyway. I'm just telling you a practical solution because a lot of times we stop ourselves from doing something because of these basic things. So let finding a quiet place not come in the way of doing this. So once you are there, put your hand on your stomach and inhale a deep breath. With every inhale, visualize a fresh, calm energy entering your body from the top of your head and slowly moving down into your spine, all the way down to the ground. As you exhale, release all that is not serving you. You don't have to know what it is. You don't have to articulate it. Intent to release is enough. Repeat this as many times as you feel necessary. In a few minutes, you will return to your calm and composed self, and your energy will be grounded. The second way to ground your energy is connecting with nature. Walking in nature can be deeply therapeutic. It enhances your energy levels, grounds you, and helps you feel the interconnectedness with the universe. So if you are the lucky one to find greenery around you, go for a walk. If possible, walk barefoot in the grass. Hug a tree or simply feel the energy. I know this may sound almost impossible for working professionals, especially in metro cities. So we can modify this with just a general walk wherever possible. Your focus should be in the soles of your feet, imagining roots going down deep into the earth. You tell yourself that you are deeply connected with the energy of the earth and you intend to operate in harmony and groundedness. Take as many rounds as you feel necessary. The next one to help you connect with your authentic energy is create a sacred routine. Now, this is a big one. We know things that soothe our soul, things that bring closer to ourselves. It's another thing that we may not be pursuing or nurturing them because of the demands of life. Isn't it strange how we keep the things we love for weekends and spend maximum time just surviving? You may tell me that there's no option, you have no clue of what all I have to do in a day, where's the time? I completely understand that. I also know sometimes we bargain our me time under pressure, or the distractions are just too lucrative to ignore. Example, Netflix, shopping, gossiping, etc. 3 things that I want you to ponder upon. Discipline. So there's a price you need to pay if you really want to be in touch with your true self, even if that means that you need to wake up half an hour earlier than your usual time. So be it. Start small. Don't expect you will find 1 hour for your sacred routine when your day is already loaded with 2 to 3 hours of commute, 9 to 10 hours of office work, and 6 to 7 hours of sleep. You would be left with nothing technically. So start small. Example, 10-15 minutes. The focus should be on consistency and not on the duration. Point number 2, name it. Now, while we are talking about the sacred routine, I want to tell you something that will help you a great deal to keep the momentum. Name it something. Call it something like, I have called it a sacred routine. You might think, why is she giving it a fancy name? Don't call it what I am calling it, but call it something. The psychology behind it is that if you don't name it, you won't be able to claim it. You hold yourself accountable when you give it a name. So name that time of the day something and block your own calendar so that you hold yourself accountable. Point number 3, keep it to yourself. The sacred routine. Don't go around telling people or friends that I'm doing this. with all their good intentions, there is a possibility that they might unconsciously pull you down by either poking fun or telling you how something like this never worked for them. Remember, we are talking about protecting energy. Share only when you have built a significant momentum and you know that nothing can throw you off. But even then, share it with the right kind of people, not with everyone. So, to summarize, we spoke about what we are truly seeking. Is it transitory happiness attached to some kind of goals, or is it our true expression? Then we discussed about the three keys that will help you to establish a deeper connect with yourself, resulting in lasting happiness. And these three keys are: protect your energy, ground your energy, and create and follow a sacred routine. Silence is something which is in our DNA. When you're creating spaces to connect with your true nature, you will slowly find out that you don't want validation from anyone for what you're doing, because you just feel called to do it. Your decisions will come from a place of stability and not a shaky ground. You will look at others and be truly happy for their progress. Comparisons will disappear from your mind, as you will just be very grounded in your own truth and would not want to compete with anyone. Your focus will be to become the best version of yourself, and there can't be a greater joy than being who you were meant to be. So that's all for this episode. I have thoroughly enjoyed this conversation with you. Together, let's embark on this journey of self-discovery and soulful living. Until next time, may your soul be illuminated with the light within. Take care, and I will see you soon in the next episode. Until then, keep shining the light within.